So with the introduction of Year 6 Season 3, we are seeing a lot of new and returning players jump back into the game, and one question I get here pretty much on a daily basis is what is the most efficient way to farm for exotics? Because as most of you know, there happen to be a handful out there that are must-haves, whether you're trying to get the Catharsis Mask, St. Elmo's Engine, and because many of you out there are still trying to get certain exotics you may have missed from previous seasons, you're simply wondering what is the fastest way to farm for exotics in the game, and not only that, is there any new farming method with the introduction of Year 6 Season 3? Now the answer is yes and no, and what I mean is the following. While we did see the introduction of priority objectives last season, they made a major change this season which makes farming much more efficient, and of course, as always, I'm going to show you an example on screen. Now I happen to be using my PC character. You can see it's a very low shade level, which brings me to the first detail I want to mention really quick, and that is the fact that you can do these on any world difficulty that you want. It does not matter, fellow agents, do whatever you feel like. You know what I mean? Obviously, as most of you know, in this game, the higher the difficulty is going to equate to better loot. However, when it comes to doing these priority objectives, when you see one that has an exotic, you are going to get one guaranteed, and it includes every single exotic that's in the general loot pool from previous seasons, all of that good stuff. Now what you're looking at on screen is the page where the priority objectives are, and you can see there are 3 listed. Now as we go through them, none of the rewards are an exotic item. So at this point, I'm going to re-roll the objectives. And the major change we are seeing with this farming method from last season to this one is the fact that now every single day you're going to immediately get 3 re-rolls. And that means that if you don't see an exotic item listed, you do have the option of re-rolling it again until you finally see something. So right now on my second attempt, I have one that says I have to complete 1 open world activity to get an exotic item. That's it. That's going to take seconds. You know what I mean? You can hit anything that is in the open world in the area that the objective states. And while you do have the ability to earn more re-roll attempts by completing priority objectives, a lot of players out there just want to hit up the ones that have exotics, and now that you have 3 re-rolls at the beginning of the day, it greatly increases your chances of getting one of these open world activities that takes seconds to clear. You're going to get an exotic for your time. If you already have every exotic in the game, you're going to break it down, get that exotic component. Hope this video helped you out, my friends, and as always, questions, comments, or feedback, please let me know, and I will do my best to get back to you as quick as I can. Now, as I start to wrap this up, do me a favor, let me know in the comments section, have you been using this method, and what is the longest streak you've been able to get in regard to getting these short, activities and getting those exotics really quick? For me, there was an hour yesterday where I think I got like 8 or 9 exotics, and the main reason for that is because I just got really lucky with the rerolls, and I was able to get those open world activities, which again take no time to clear whatsoever, and stack those exotic components back to back to back to back to back, all that good stuff. So again, fellow agents, and I will post a video showing that footage probably in the next day or 2. And one final thing I'd like to mention really quick is that if you happen to go through your reroll capacity on a daily basis, it will reset once every hour after that, and you can earn more by completing priority objectives as well. But again, I know a lot of you out there like myself are just going to focus on the ones for the exotics. You can get certain things you're missing. Hope this helped you out. Now at this point, I'm going to leave you with some gameplay footage and commentary where I do discuss a few more details about this farming method, just passing along a little more information. As always, I want to take a moment and thank you all for your incredible support. Please let me know of any other questions you have I did not address. Thank you once again for the privilege of your time. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to each other. So this final message, good morning, by the way. This final message is for players out there who are going to be going through their priority objectives. You're going to see something for PvP and you're going to think, forget that shit. I don't want to deal with PvP. Here's the thing. Remember, all you need to do is complete the objective that it says. Now, it says it's going to take a medium amount of time, but the bottom line is you can clear these landmarks in, minutes. And the exotic that you're getting is put right into your inventory. You don't need to extract with it or anything like that. So please step out of your comfort zone, jump into this. I also recommend if you see someone clearing a landmark, make a beeline for it, because as soon as it's cleared, you're going to get that exotic no matter what. Now, there happen to be 2 more things I'd like to clarify really quick. First of which is when you're abandoning your objective, that does not count towards using one of your rerolls. So to give you a quick example, you can see on screen I have an activity chosen. Let's say it's something I do not feel like doing. All I'm going to do is abandon the objective. You can see at the very bottom, I still have my 3 rerolls, which will reset on a 24-hour basis. And again, to be very clear, abandoning the objective is completely and totally different than rerolling. Now, once I abandon this one, I found something right in the middle. It says open world, complete any 2 territory control activities. That's going to take less than 5 minutes to do. And as I talked about in this entire video, if you're just trying to get those components opponents, or let's say you just want to get that exotic as quickly as you can. Drop the difficulty and just rip through the content. You're not going to have any issue getting this whatsoever. And for new and returning players, like I said, and I'm showing you an example, just set your world to normal. You are still guaranteed that exotic. Now, with that being said, the final thing I want to cover is the fact that, and most of you know this, Countdown is the most efficient way to farm for loot in the game without a doubt. And if you do complete a round of Countdown, even if you do not get an exotic to drop, when you clear a round of Countdown, you get Countdown resources. With those, you go to the Countdown vendor, buy exotic caches, and mathematically, you can usually earn enough Countdown resources in about 35 minutes of gameplay. That's going to take you 2 rounds of Countdown. If everything moves efficiently, you're clearing a round within, let's say, 15 to 17 minutes. Which means that every 30 minutes, you're getting a guaranteed exotic by buying an exotic cache from the Countdown vendor. This method, however, is much more efficient, and again, it does take a little bit of luck. You do need to get certain activities that are going to take you a short amount of time to clear, but for me, and this is something I recommend for every player out there, you want to take advantage of every opportunity you have in this game to try to maximize your gameplay, so make sure you check out your priority objectives and use these rerolls on a daily basis. Because remember, if you happen to get some of these activities back to back to back and they happen to be in that range of short to medium time, you could be pulling in like 3, 4, 5 exotics within 30 minutes of gameplay. I mean, it can really stack up. And not only that, for those of you out there who have multiple characters, you can do this on each of them. So you can have a ton of rerolls on a daily basis, stack those exotics. Hope this helped you out, my friends, and I will see you in the next one.
The country died 7 months ago. Start thinking about what you want to get out of this.
Access key detected. Progress halted. Manual override required. Progress resumed.